How's everybody doing? First, I'd like to start off by saying thank you for spending some time with me. And today we're looking at something very special. This is the Italian Army Alpine Troops Cold Climates Food Ration, Module B. This thing is absolutely massive. It comes in at 20 inches tall, 15 inches wide, and it weighs 1,873 grams or 4 pounds, 2.1 ounces. This is absolutely nuts how big this thing is. You could use this as a pillow out in the field because it is absolutely huge. And these are very rare. So it's going to be a real treat to go through this and share it with everyone today. And just for a little comparison size, look at this. This is the U.S. current issue meal cold weather. And it simply makes this look like a little baby. This is a 24-hour ration. And it is mostly, if not all, freeze-dried food. So let's turn this guy over. It's almost hard to get this thing in the whole picture here. And here we have the content sheet. This is produced by, This is produced by AR Foods SRL. This is batch 110, and this has a use by date of October 17th, 2024. Because, if not everything in here other than the snacks and the biscuits and whatnot, it's going to be freeze-dried. This has such an extended shelf life, but as you could see, this ration is in pristine condition. This is almost like collector grade. And we're going to cut it open and enjoy it tonight. So, this is Module B, and it comes with an instruction sheet, 3 ecological containers, which I would think are bags, 10 paper napkins, 5 toothpicks, 6 tablets for water disinfectant, 5 sanitary wipes, 4 instant isotonic drinks, 4 multivitamin tablets, 5 packs of double pack chewing gum, 2 pieces of gum in 5 packs, 3 satchels of salt, 3 satchels of instant coffee, 3 tea bags of soluble tea, 3 satchels of sugar, 1 satchel of soluble chocolate, which is going to be your hot cocoa, and 1 satchel of instant cappuccino. Now we come to the breakfast. Freeze-dried crunchy granola with milk and coconut, sweet biscuits, 50 grams, a trio of cutlery and 2 napkins. Then in addition to the meals, we have snacks. Snack number 1 is going to be 1 bar of rice and oat flakes, 1 bar of soya and oat flakes, 1 pack of shelled walnuts. Then we have lunch. Freeze-dried pasta bolognese, freeze-dried chocolate mousse with cherry granola, 1 pack of crackers, 100 grams, and a trio of cutlery and 2 napkins. Then we have snack number 2, 1 cereal and chocolate bar, 1 cereal and fruit bar, 1 pack of shelled almonds, 1 pack of toasted hazelnuts. Then we get to dinner. If that is not enough, now we have dinner. Freeze-dried beef stew with potatoes, freeze-dried blueberry and vanilla muesli, 1 dark chocolate bar, another pack of crackers, 50 grams, and a trio of cutlery and 2 napkins. Let's cut this guy open and let's dig into this monster menu. So let's go nice and easy here. I don't want to cut anything that's in there by accident. Here we go. I don't know where we're going to put all this stuff. All right, so look at this. We have 1 bag. This is dinner. We have another bag. This is going to be your snack pack number 2. I actually love how they're already putting these on each bag and already laying them out. Okay, these are all your incidentals. These are going to be... Then we have another one. This is going to be salt satchel, instant coffee, soluble tea, sugar, soluble chocolate, instant cappuccino. And yet there's another bag. Then we have snack number 1. I don't know where we're going to put all this stuff. Put the snacks on this side. This is going to be lunch. So we have lunch, dinner. This is going to be breakfast. Look at that. Okay, so they give you, like the other Italian rations, they give you 3 paper bags, and they look to be wax coated, and then they give you a pack of 10 tissues, sensitive. That's a nice touch. And that's everything. We have a little paperwork in here. UN food ration instruction. All right, so that's everything. This thing is absolutely massive. Look at that size of that bag. I mean, my arm. And let's look at what we have here. So we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Here's breakfast. Here are all our snack packs. And we're going to tray up breakfast first. I'm going to plate this up. We're going to get rid of this stuff. And we're going to start diving into this crazy ration. Stand by. All right, we're back, and this is quite the spread. We're going to do something a little different today. Got some cool new gear for Father's Day, and what a great time to bust it out and actually utilize it. We're going to have, for breakfast, we're going to have our crunchy granola with milk and almond. 1.5 deciliter is 150 mils of water or 5.1 ounces of fluid. So, we're definitely going to have a lot of water because this is an Alpine ration and there's a lot of drinks and you need a lot of water for your main. So we're going to be utilizing 2 kind of like canteen cups going on here and 2 Espit stoves. This Espit stove is out of a French, I'm sorry, not a French, this is a Spanish breakfast menu. And this Espit is not the actual Italian one, but I believe it's modeled after it, and it is Espit. So, we have our crunchy granola with milk and coconuts. We have a 50-gram packet of biscuits. And this is a best before July 28, 2026. This is the best before of December 4th, 2028. We have our 2 drinks, a tea and an instant coffee. Plus, I opened up the first snack pack because this meal was kind of a little light. And we have an Enervite Competition Carb Boost Apricot Energy Bar with real fruit, 22 grams of carbs. This is best before October 17, 2024. And then we have a Enervite Power Crunchy Energy Bar, 19% protein, cookie and oat flakes, gluten-free, 40 grams, 30 grams. Okay, and then, but wait, there's more. We have a bag of shelled walnuts, 100% natural. I would hope so, right? This is 25 grams, and this has a best before of October 30th, 2024. All right, so let's actually get the water going for these meals. Our container for our drinks. Let's get the flame going first on these, and then we'll put the water on. We got one going. We got two going. All right, let's measure out our water. All right, so that's enough for 1 cup. So enough for 2 cups. A little extra. And we'll put that right on the stove. And then utilize our canteen cup for the rest of our water. There we go. Pretty awesome Father's Day gift, right? We're not gonna use our utensils. They're pretty flimsy. They look like the Jomitzvah. They got like a hollow back, and I guess in the field for one-time use, it's it'll do the trick. These are the actual napkins. It's almost like gift wrapping paper. It does not seem like it's an actual tissue. We have our sugar packet, our hand wipe. This is the energy tablet. They come 4. I pulled one out. I pulled one out already. Let's break out our mess kit. Pretty cool utensils, and we have another tray. All right, so let's open up our first bar. Oh, it actually smells pretty good. Then we have the Enervite Power Crunchy Energy Bar. Our walnuts shelled. Let's try our vitamin tablet. It has a unique fizzy taste, pretty heavy in the vitamin taste, a very mild sour taste initially, but then once that coating, that's probably like a sugar coating, once that wears off, it's straight vitamin flavor. All right, so let's get our drink set up here. All right, and I believe this is 8 grams, so we're going to put half of it in one, half of it in the other. There we go. Our tea mix. Almost smells like a instant Lipton. And then we have our instant coffee. Ooh, that is a nice, large crystal, freeze-dried. Let's see what these biscuits look like. Wow, these do look fancy. Holy cow, look at them. Wow, they almost look like French bread. Wow, sweet. Wow, that is really impressive. I don't think I gotta smell this again. Hold on. The Dutch sugar cookies, but you could smell that butter. That's impressive. All right, so we're gonna have to make some room here. There we go. That's looking pretty good, just like that. Got a pretty decent spread going on here. This is the cookies and cream Power Crunchy cookies and oat flakes. That is so deceiving, so delicate, so easy to bite through. Very flavorful. I'm not really getting a whole lot of cookie unless it's like a sweet shortbread cookie, but definitely high quality. And this has a best before July 28th, 2026. All right, so doing a translation on these sweet biscuits, there's not much information. It just says soft wheat flour, sugar, palm oil, sea salt, brewer's yeast. That's it. All right, we're back. We had to top off these fuel tablets. They're just not cutting it. You could hear it now. They're starting to really get into a nice rolling boil. All right, let's try the apricot. So much food in this menu, it's hard to remember what I'm eating. Okay, this one is considerably denser, but the flavor profile and how sweet it is absolutely hitting it. That apricot is really prevalent in this bar. This is absolutely fantastic. Try some of the walnut. Good taste, natural, no salt, very lightly roasted. It almost has a raw texture, how soft it is. All right, while that's going, we might as well get that water in this. All right, make a mess. All right, so let's pour some in here. All right. Actually get into all those nooks and crannies. With that gusseted bottom, you know you're going to miss some things. And I look like I probably already added too much water. But we'll give that time to bulk up. And this water is smoking hot. I'm going to close that up and let that do its thing. All right, let's try one of our biscuits. It's almost like a French bread. Yep, definitely a sweet biscuit. It has a really firm chew to it, but it's crumbly. It almost like fractures when you bite it. It's almost like a toasted, thinly sliced French baguette. Great butter flavor. If there was salt on this, oh, wait a second. Ha! Look at that. If there was salt on it, but wait, we have salt. Oh yeah, that salt brings out that flavor of that biscuit, 100%. All right, I think we got enough here for 1 cup of coffee. Let's try. Nope, we're a little shy. All right. All right, we got our coffee set up. I can hear it now. Now it's coming to a boil. Let's finish up some of this apricot flavored energy bar. All right, it's been a good solid 6 minutes. We let this water came to a nice rolling boil. We got our tea made, nice and piping hot. All right, let's see how this is coming out. This should have definitely already firmed up, and it does feel like a solid mass. All right, not bad. I think we added just the right amount of water. And this is looking fantastic, I'm telling you. You could smell the coconut coming off this. That was perfect amount of water, and we went over. Sometimes it's hit or miss with these freeze-dried meals. You add too much, it's too watery. Add too little, you just got a big ball of dough. Let's get this out. All right, that's pretty much all of it. Put that right here on the side. Wow, that looks good. That is a nice portion. Everything hydrated nicely. There's no dry spots. There's no clumps. Still piping hot. I don't know how I'm making such a mess, and these napkins aren't doing much. It just smears the water around. It doesn't even absorb it. All right, let's try the coffee. First impressions. Really good coffee. Very bold, very dark, no bitterness, nut notes. That would have been killer if we had some sweetened condensed milk. All right, let's try the coconut muesli without making a mess. Oh, I'm telling you, the Europeans, the Italians, the Swedish, Norwegian, Estonian, they know how to make oatmeal, or otherwise known as muesli. This is absolutely ridiculous. Creamy, unbelievable hints of coconut. Yeah, this is right on the spot. That is absolutely perfect. Just watery enough, creamy, not sweet at all. Not any bit sweet at all. Not like American oatmeal. American oatmeal is all sugar. This is absolutely fantastic. The oats and grain in this, it's not a rough cut. Not too chewy, not too dry at all. Perfectly balanced with the liquid. Soft enough where you're not chewing too much. I tell you, the Italians aren't messing around. They know how to feed their troops, especially troops that need to be fed properly. The nut to coconut ratio is perfect. There's not too many nuts in this, and they're not too big of a chunk. I could finish this whole thing. I usually struggle with meals like this because they're so dense, and I just can't eat a lot in one sitting. But this, I would force myself because this is that good. They don't really go well together. I'm not sure why they would give you sweet biscuits and nothing to spread on it. But I'm telling you, they're so good that that's a treat. Let's give this tea a try. It's still scalding hot, I can tell. That's a good tea for an instant, and you could definitely taste the lemon in that. Yeah, that's insanely hot. You know what? They wanted you to have the sweet biscuits with your tea. These napkins suck. They really do. I know they gave you another pack, but I think this is what they wanted you to intend to use with your meal because it's with the cutlery. And these things suck. They're polished to such a high extent that it's almost like craft paper. It does nothing to wipe things up. You're just smearing stuff around. I mean, I wiped this spot like 3 times already, and all I'm doing is just moving water around. The hell with those. We're not using them. This oatmeal is nuts. It really is. Even something such as simple as muesli. I mean, they're going all out. The walnuts, great snack. Okay, well, in all fairness, to try to keep this video under an hour and 20 minutes, we're going to wrap it up right here. Sweet biscuits, I think, are going to be absolutely amazing with the tea once the tea cools off a little. The apricot energy bar and the cookie and oat flakes energy bar, top notch. I'm going to finish those. The walnuts are nice. Nothing to get crazy about. They're just walnuts, nothing fancy. The coffee and the tea are fantastic. This is still a little too hot to drink. Okay, that's a little better. Great flavor. Perfect amount of water. And this fruit muesli was just ridiculous. All right, let's see what we got here with this wet wipe. Okay, got a nice fragrant smell. Definitely disinfective. You can smell it's a little chemically. It's a quality cloth. A little small, but it does the job. Nice and refreshing. All right, I'm gonna finish this up for another hour or so, and then we'll get to our next meal in about 4 hours. Stand by. All right, we're back. This is going to be lunch, and I opened up the lunch packet and took out half of the snacks from snack pack number 2. All right, so let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to warm up our water for our pasta bolognese. The chocolate mousse with granola and cherries takes cold water. We have a Enervite Beretta 8000 fruit bar, 43 grams. We have a Biscotto sweet crackers. I forgot about eating these last night, so I grabbed the ones that I had from breakfast, and we're gonna eat these with our mousse. We're not gonna open up this packet, so we're just gonna throw this on the side like that. Oh, I didn't use all of the salt from the last packet, so we're gonna reuse the one from breakfast. I don't anticipating needing to salt up the pasta bolognese, but if we do, we will. We have a packet of sugar, we have a packet of tea, and this time I'm going to spike it with sweetened condensed creamer. All right, so let's get started on warming up our water. The matches, utensils, fuel tablets did not come inside the ration. Wow, that does stink. Okay, and that warmed up nicely. I have the amount of water we need right here. I'm going to start warming that up. All right. Let's get our chocolate mousse with granola and cherries going. Now usually these packets have a lot of stuff right at the top, so that's why I'm being careful. I don't want to dump this stuff everywhere. And I measured out the exact amount of cold water. They do tell you to remove the oxygen absorber. What we have allotted here. There you go. Mix that up. All right, and it doesn't seem like it's really mixing that well because it's cold water. And we're using the napkins from our package because those other napkins are absolutely trash. Let's get our isotonic ready. 500 mils of water. A lot of minerals: sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium. So I'm not expecting this to taste really good, but it is lemon flavored. So we'll see how it comes out. All right, let that hang out for a minute. Let's get our tray ready here. We're going to reuse our crackers. Let's get into this Beretta 8000 Frutta, 43 grams. I've seen these before in the Italian rations, the regular. Wow. And it just smells like a granola bar with a lot of bran and fiber. And the oats. Alright. We don't need this cup anymore. This is more just for the measuring of the mousse. Give that another shake. And I actually feel that that's thickening up nicely. Alright, let's get our tea ready. Our water's boiling nicely. And before that gets too hot, let's actually pour some in here. We're going to put a half a packet of the sugar in because I already have sweet condensed milk. I don't want it to be too sweet. Oh well, that was almost all of it. And then for the liquid gold. Alright, let's give that a little mixing. Oh boy, just what I suspected. Because there's lemon in this, it's curding. Yeah, this is a lemon flavored tea mix. So it's going to have citric acid in it. And we all know what happens when you mix citric acid with cream. But it doesn't matter. Because I'm still drinking it. Oh, and it still tastes perfect. Despite what it looks like. Alright. I don't know if that mousse is going to fit in this little tray. So let's just take a little peek at it. Oh wow. Oh, look at that. That came out like a perfect chocolate mousse. Let's give that a little mixing. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. And we're going to get it to fit, so bear with me. Nice. All right, I think we're looking pretty good here. We don't need our hand wipe right now, and we definitely don't need the salt. We have a toothpick and our gum. All right, that fuel tablet's just about out. So we're going to open this up and get into it. Oh wow, this looks absolutely amazing. Oh wow, the smell, tomatoes. Oh, that smells. Look at the pasta coming to the top. That looks fantastic. We're gonna go right for it. And I already pre-measured this, so we're gonna just put almost all. We're just gonna put all of it in. All right. Give that a nice mixing. When you got freeze-dried meals, you gotta mix it real good. So I think we've got it really good mixed up. I'm gonna close that guy up. And just let it sit there for a minute. All right, while that's taking 10 minutes to work itself in, Let's see what we got here with our chocolate mousse. I'm impressed with how it came out. Very creamy, nice and thick. Got chunks of granola in it. That's surprising. You expect to have like a pudding, and then there's texture to it. The chocolate is a rich, dark chocolate, but it's not bitter. Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. I never had anything like this before. Let's see if we could find a cherry. Yep. That's interesting. There we go. The cherry is a mildly dried, freeze-dried cherry, and it's a decent chunk. It almost looks like it's like halves of cherry, so you're getting actually a substantial chew and a really nice treat. The mousse with the granola and the cherry goes perfect with the crackers. The granola almost has like a fruit muesli texture to it, and because we use cold water, it's not going to get too soft. It's got a pretty good crunch to it, even though it is in chocolate mousse. And that's absolutely amazing. Every once in a while you get a nice bite of cherry with the granola, followed up by the chocolate mousse. That is such a treat. Let's try some of the tea. Oh my God, that is still scalding hot. Wow. Holy cow, I just burnt my mouth. I forgot that these Stanley cups are insulated. Wow. And I took a huge gulp. Alright, let's see if we could cool down the mouth with these flavored isotonic. Okay, the lemon, it's not a sweet lemon. It's almost like a lemon flavor, but the rind. So there's probably lemon oils in here, and it's probably coming from the rind. It is kind of salty, considering it is a more or less a vitamin drink. But the minerals and the vitamins and the salt, they're not offensive. I could definitely pound that. That's a pretty decent drink. And it mixes perfectly with 500 mils. Alright, let's see if we could soften up these crackers a little, because they are on the firmer side. That actually goes perfect with the tea. What a unique texture. On the top, it looks like a French bread. On the bottom, it looks like it's sliced French bread. That's absolutely amazing. A little pack of tissues like this is nice. I don't understand why more rations don't do this. You can throw in some regular napkins for your cutlery set. This is awesome. This is really such a nice little touch that actually really improves morale. All right, let's try this Beretta fruit bar. Pretty soft. Has a decent break to it. It's got a oat honey bran smell to it. It's got the consistency of a Fig Newton. Firm but soft when you bite into it, and really does have a good flavor. As soon as I bit into it, I had a unique taste of orange, followed by the oats, the cereals. Has a real pleasant fruit taste to it. And what's kind of interesting about it is the fruit taste doesn't taste cheap. It actually tastes like you're eating fruit. Let's see how this pasta bolognese came out. This is a 130 gram pack. Oh wow. I think that's ready. That looks absolutely amazing. Look at that. That is really a treat. Look at this. The smell that's coming off it, absolutely inviting. The sauce, there's definitely more meat in this than pasta. It's a very fine, freeze-dried, ground meat. What impresses me is the pasta. This is quality pasta. Very fine pasta. Look how small they are. And it really does complement it. We got nice chunks of onions, red peppers. It looks like there's tomato skin in here from the tomatoes. I think this came out perfect. I went like 20 mils, maybe 30 milliliters of water extra because I didn't want it to be too dry. You could actually probably add just a touch more water to this and have a slightly runnier sauce, but I think this absolutely came out perfect. It's not lacking flavor or complexity, but I'm just curious. They give you the salt packet. Let's just put a slight dash of salt on this. See how it reacts. The salt really does help. Definitely brings out the flavor of the meat and the sauce. Yep. Okay, I didn't want to go overboard on this. We still got a third of the packet left. I've never had a pasta bolognese out of a freeze-dried meal that looked this good. Absolutely fantastic flavor with the onions. It looks like there's carrots in it. The vegetable flavor really does come out. I'm absolutely stunned at the quality of this. And that meat really, really shines with that fine spiral pasta. I want to keep going, but I'm starting to get full. And these biscuits, these sweet biscuits, they really do also go well with this. All right, let's see how far we can get. Whew, I'm starting to sweat now. All right, let's wrap up what we got here. Chocolate mousse with the granola and the dried cherries. Ridiculous. This is how they're eating. That is absolutely fantastic. Sweet biscuits. The AKA awesome French bread. I've never seen anything like this. This is just like a whole nother level of spoiled. The pasta bolognese, I don't even know what to say about it. I think from now on, when I have another pasta bolognese, it's just going to be a downgrade compared to what this is looking like. The tea, very flavorful, but I made a mistake. It is lemon flavored by putting the sweetened condensed creamer in it. It curded, but it didn't take away from the quality of the tea. Still very sweet, very creamy with that condensed milk in it. Outstanding tea flavor. Isotonic drink, really good. Definitely does what it's supposed to do. It's not offensive. A good amount of hydration liquid here, 500 milliliters. Yeah, it's not overly sweet like what we're used to in US MREs. No color added to it, which is a big plus. Definitely like this. I haven't opened any of these gums yet because I still plan on finishing the meal and I don't want to open it up, but I'm guessing this is going to be fantastic. We'll eventually get to one. We already opened up one of the fresh wipes. Outstanding. A little small for my taste, but they do the job. Let me know what you thought about this menu. I'll see you when dinner comes. And we're back with dinner. Dinner's going to be a 118 gram beef stew with potatoes, freeze-dried. This takes 300 mils of boiling water. I'm going to push it to like 325 just to see how it comes out. We've got our Enermix daily vitamins. We have water purification tablets, which we're not going to use. I broke down one of the snack packs into half because it's going to be way too many snacks. So we'll also dinner had I believe a vanilla muesli. It's going to be way too much food. So I broke half of the snack packs, drinks, and the muesli for kind of like a after dinner small meal. So let's get into it. So we got our beef stew with potatoes. We're going to consume one of our vitamins. We're not using the water purification tablets. We're going to have a tea. We're going to have the shelled almonds. We're going to have a cappuccino. We have our biscotto sweet crackers, a Beretta cereal bar, chocolate, and then an isotonic. Also, I didn't consume the gum on the last one, so hopefully we'll have enough room for one of the gums and we'll play with one of the toothpicks. Also, we have some leftover salt from the other meal. When I post the information on the calorie count and all the macros, I will include the salt. I believe they're 2 or 3 gram packages and there's 3 of them, so I will include it into the final numbers. All right, so let's get started. I already kind of pre-warmed this water. These insulated mugs hold the heat way too long when the water is boiling, and I'm not going to burn myself anymore on the drinks. So let's start with our instant sports drink. And I tell you, this drink really grows on you. It's a little minerally, and it has a slight hint of salt, but I was pounding these yesterday after I got done filming and I really enjoyed it. So we got 500 mils of water here already pre-measured. We're going to drop that in. Give that a nice mix, and then so these can kind of cool while we're setting everything else up. Wow, this thing is packed to the top. There we go. Let a little air into it. That one's a little crunchy. All right, and then we have our Restore cappuccino, and it doesn't really say on the back how much water to add, so I'm just going to assume it's between 8 to 10 ounces. All right, so let's pour some of this water in here. Alright, and we're already making a mess. These napkins are really a pleasure to use. good quality napkins, and it's nice to see that they give you a nice little pack of them. Alright, so like a cappuccino's looking pretty nice. And that lemon tea, perfect. Got a really nice lemony smell to it. Looking forward to having that. Alright, we're not going to be using our water purification tablet. And let's crack open one of the vitamins. About a tablet, a little larger than a dime. 2 thicknesses of a quarter. And it is kind of a unique vitamin. A little chalky. Then you get a bit of a sour lemon taste. And then the vitamins hit you. And yeah, it's not really pleasing. But you need your vitamins. Alright, so let's I already kind of staged the fuel tablet here. Alright. Come on. There we go. Just place that guy right on there like that. Get the water on there. Alright, so let's look at our almonds. I guess that water really didn't cool down much. I preheated the water. 10 minutes later, I threw it on there. That sounds like it's already coming to a boil. Okay, and these crackers seem like they're a little busted up. Yeah, look at that. Wow, these look a lot different. Look at that. They're about half the thickness, and they look considerably weirder. Yeah, they don't smell bad. Wow. And they're a lot. That's weird. It almost looks like a defect. Same exact cracker. Almost. Alright, and our cereal bar. Oh, this looks really good. Chocolate cereal bar. Enervite, 48 grams. Let's get, oh, look at that, how interesting that looks. It's soft. Almost looks like a chocolate Rice Krispie treat coated in chocolate. Oh, wow. That is really nice. It's got the chew and the texture of a chocolate coated Rice Krispie treat. I could eat 2 of these. These are fabulous. Let's try a cappuccino. It seems like it's a little hot, but we're going to take it easy. It's a little on the warm side, and we're just going to let that sit for a minute. Instead, we'll try our lemon flavored carbohydrate drink. That definitely goes nicely with that bar. Some almonds. Nothing special here. They're not overly roasted, so they don't have a bitter taste to them. They're pretty moist for what they are. And it gives them a nice chew with a decent almond flavor. Yeah, and that tea is hot. I can't wait to get into this beef stew. Alright, that looks really good. And since we already measured this out, the water I mean, we don't need to worry about where we're going to fill this. We're just going to fill it. I estimated about 325 mils. And we're going to go all of it. I'll put that right on the side. I think this is going to come out perfect. I went a little overboard on the water. I would say maybe 25-30 mils extra on the other one. And it was really, I think, perfect. All right, let's close this up. If I can get that seal to actually catch. There we go. Put that guy right there. Alright, let's do that. That doesn't even taste like it's healthy. But it is. These crackers really look weird. But there's no off taste to them, so I don't really know what to make of it. And they're packaged exactly as the other one, so it's not a different cracker. Let's try something here. The tea goes great with the crackers, so let's dunk almost that whole cracker in there. See if we could soften it up a little, because it is a little tougher than the other bag. The tea really helps those crackers soften up, and they really are. They're not soggy, but they're just have a little chewy texture to them. Yeah, that tea's still smoking hot. All right, I took my time eating this Beretta chocolate protein bar and munching on these almonds. Dunking the crackers into the tea. I think these crackers were either defective because they seem half as thick and they're twice as hard. They're not as airy and fluffy. So, I don't know. But it didn't take anything away from them. They're still pretty good. And they go nicely with the tea when you soften them up. All right, let's pop this guy open. Oh, that looks... Oh my God, that smell. Yeah. Look at that portion. And I think that was a good call on the water. This might have been a little too thick if I didn't add that extra water. All right. Everything rehydrated perfectly. There's no dry spots. I'm really surprised in these Italian rations, especially the freeze-dried, that they don't include any type of hot sauce. Really, I am. Usually in cold climate and freeze-dried meals, you want to entice the appetite by also adding something spicy. Of course, at their own option. Oh, that is so tasty. For being a freeze-dried stew, the first thing that hit me were the flavors of the potato and the vegetables. And then I got a little piece of meat, and you could definitely see it's processed. They're small cuts. They look like they're processed meat. It's not like fibrous. Oh, the flavor on that meat, that's good. Yeah, that was perfect adding extra water. This would have been thick and pasty if I didn't add extra water. Oh, this is a perfect dinner meal. This really is. This is hitting the spot right now. I kind of ate real light today to prepare myself for this meal, and I'm glad I did. These crackers are going to go absolutely perfect with this. Just like that. Let's try one with a nice spoonful of meat and potatoes and carrots and celery and green beans. Matter of fact, I'm just going to park that spoon there for a minute and use the crackers to spoon this up. I thought the pasta bolognese was good. This is twice as better. But I do have to admit, I would prefer stew, a beef stew or a chicken stew, over pasta and beef. So it could be personal taste, but even if I'm biased, that doesn't take away from the quality of this beef stew. I can't stop eating that. That is really that good. And man, I'm telling you, if I had some Tabasco, some sambal, some picante, chili flake. I don't know about chili flakes. Sometimes they can be a little too hot and they don't really add a flavor other than just heat. That tea is good. Who would have thought an instant tea, right? The carrots have good flavor. All the vegetables have a decent chew. They don't have like a weird texture. They don't taste like it's fresh vegetables, but I'm telling you, they're not far from it. There we go. We got a nice chunk of carrots. It looks like green beans. A couple nice chunks of beef on there. A nice potato. Okay, the wall is starting to show up. Starting to get full. All right, we've been ignoring this cappuccino here. Nice cappuccino smell. Doesn't taste sweet at all. Do taste coffee, cream. You know what? For the Italians, I would have expected a little better. Maybe I put too much water, but didn't have any instructions on how much water is required. But that's kind of mediocre. And I mean, come on. Italians, right? Cappuccino. You think that would be like stellar, but it's not. And this definitely doesn't need salt. Perfectly seasoned, perfect salt taste. Not too high. It's not bland, definitely. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this. This is still a lot of food. Not that I don't want to. This is such a tasty stew. Now let's give that cappuccino a try again. It's decent, but it's possible that I put a little too much water. Maybe half of that amount, 4 to 5 ounces, and it would have been probably much creamier, much more pronounced. All right, let's push through and get this done. All right, finish line is in sight. Let's do this. All right, I can't believe it. We're almost there. I can't believe I made it. Wow. That was filling. But it was too hard to ignore. That's how tasty this was. So, beef stew. Unbelievable for a freeze-dried beef stew. The almonds, fantastic. This Beretta protein chocolate bar was absolutely ridiculous. I would eat these all day and not thinking I'm eating something healthy or something nutritious. This was freaking ridiculous. The crackers were a little weird compared to our other packs, but that's all right. We made it work. They went well with the tea. They complemented the beef stew. They were good. Nothing wrong with them other than appearance and possibly thickness, but whatever. Cappuccino was kind of lackluster. I would think Italians would definitely know their coffee, their cappuccino, but I could have possibly messed that up by putting maybe 8 or 9 ounces of water when possibly it only would have called for 5. So, no big deal. I'm going to still drink that and enjoy it. It's got decent flavor, but it's not like wow. I expected to see wow, but it's like, it's alright. Isotonic, I'm growing on this. This stuff is really good. Dinner down into a smaller portion because there was also a vanilla muesli to go with this. Absolutely would not have been able to fit it in. So we're going to wait about 3-4 hours and we'll be back with the rest of the meal, with the leftover snacks, the coffee, the drink. Oh, you know what? We almost forgot. Gum. All right. This is a Cool Fresh Smile with xylitol. 2 pieces. All right, so that gum was really interesting. Very high quality gum base. The mint Cool Fresh flavor is pretty intense in the beginning, but then it kind of mellows out. The 2 pieces really are silky smooth chew, good flavor, and after about a minute or 2, the overwhelming Cool Fresh flavor actually really tapers off, and it's an enjoyable gum to chew. All right, that covers dinner. We're going to come back with a late supper with the other half of those snacks and drinks and coffee and tea. So stay tuned. All right, we are back. Finally, our final meal, which this is going to be a light supper. Let's get to it. We got a package of shelled hazelnuts. We have a small 25-gram bar of chocolate, freeze-dried real field meals by Dry Tech, 1,590 kilojoules, 380 calories. Our Biscotto crackers, 50 grams, and a Vite instant sports drink. We have our twin packs of coffee, a pack of sugar, and we have a hot chocolate, which what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine one of these to make a Army mochaccino, and then we're going to have one coffee on the side. So we're going to do our 24-gram pack of hot cocoa. And I made a mess already on the table. And we're going to also put 1 pack of the instant coffee in. This coffee was really good. That cappuccino, I don't know if I was hard on it, but I could have ruined it by putting a little too much water. But we'll see. Because I added the coffee to this hot chocolate, we're going to add also, this is a 8-gram packet of sugar. I'm going to put 4 grams in there. And we're going to put 4 grams in there. And this time we will be using our sweetened condensed milk for the coffee. So while this water is still kind of warm, and these insulated cups are ridiculous on retaining heat, give that time to cool off. There we go. So let's light this up. There we go. And we'll actually get this sweet condensed milk in here. And mind you, this did not come in the ration. We're going to even throw some in here. We're already at the end of the tube. This hot chocolate going with the mocha, Army Mochaccino. Let's get our energy drink going. One thing I'm kind of disappointed on this Alpine Italian field ration, they don't give you any information on the bag. Like, what is the total calorie count, fat, protein, salt? How much water do you need for this entire meal? All these meals, plus the snacks. Look at that, we got a little bloom here, but it only looks like surface bloom. We got some hazelnuts going on, we got some chocolate, and they look busted up. That's kind of disappointing, but I don't care. They're still really good crackers. Biscuits, I'm sorry, biscuits, they're not crackers. Sweet Italian biscotto biscuits. Okay, this is blueberry and vanilla muesli. That tablet's almost out. I think we're good. I'm gonna put most of this water in there. It actually has a fill line where to fill to, and we're just about there. Let's mix this up, get any clumps out of there. Yeah, there was a nice big glob of milk powder and muesli down there. And that is hot. Wow. Alright, we're just going to put that on the side. This note doesn't need to keep going anymore. So I'm going to put this down on this for a moment. And we're going to let that burn out. Alright, first impressions. Let's try some of these hazelnuts. Okay, they're fresh. They're not salted. They're very mildly roasted. So they still have a very soft texture to it. Good hazelnut flavor. Let's try it with a chocolate. Okay, that's just surface bloom, so the inside is perfect. This is just like a waxy blooming on the very surface, so I'm not worried about that. Wow, that chocolate is good. You can tell it's not really too high of a, cacao percentage. It does break up easily. It's brittle when you chew it. It breaks up into like little shards, but it definitely has a unique and a very inviting flavor. That actually goes really good with the hazelnuts. Try one of the sweet biscuit. That's actually a pretty nice combination. A little crunchy and savory. Piece of chocolate. We got a big clump of cocoa at the bottom. I can't even begin to tell you how thick this is getting. All right, let's take a little drink here. That's a really smooth cocoa. Not gritty at all. No offensive aftertaste. The coffee, you can definitely taste the coffee in that. That's a really nice aftertone of coffee. I could taste that sweetened condensed milk in there. That's what's adding the creaminess to it. That's a fantastic combination. All right, let's try our coffee. Italian coffee with 2 grams of sugar and sweetened condensed milk. Oh, wow. That sweetened condensed milk really makes that coffee taste amazing. That's a perfect cup right there. All right, let's get this out. I think it's been about 5 minutes. They don't want to really give you too much time on this. They say about 5-6 minutes. And dump. Wow, talk about a serving. That's a huge serving. Wow. I don't know if I might have overdone it. I think this is going to still thicken up. Got some nice chunks of apples. I see some blueberries. All right, let's see what the ingredients are here. We've got whole grain flakes, whole wheat, 73%, salt, sugar, blueberries, sunflower oil, apple chunks, salt, vanilla, powdered milk, sugar. Not bad. That is really, really, it looks totally different than it tastes. It looks like it's going to be bland, but I got hit with the apples, the blueberries, the honey, the milk. Then you chew the grains. Perfect. All right, I let this cool down for a little bit because it's still scalding hot. Thinking about it off camera, I am so surprised how sweet this tastes, but it's not artificially sweetened. Or I should say it's not overly sweetened with just by adding sugar. You can taste the sweetness of it is mainly from the apple, the blueberries, and if I'm not mistaken, I think there's honey in here plus sugar. They did add it. So if this is supposed to be a light meal like the bag says, wow, I would hate to see what a heavy meal is, because this is a huge portion. This is over 400 grams. As this is softening up because of the warm water, it's even becoming more savory. The hot chocolate is outstanding with the coffee in it. This is absolutely ridiculous with the sweetened condensed creamer in it. I tell you, I'm going to be bouncing off the walls with all this sugar. Let's try our isotonic drink. That is really refreshing. I can't stop eating this. This is so good. All right, well, first of all, if you're still here, I want to say thank you. I really mean it. Sharing these unique rations with the viewers, really, I mean, something like this has to be shared. And I'm so happy that I can share it with you guys. Let me know what you thought about this. This ration was truly unique, and I was very lucky to get one. Actually, I have two. We have Module C also. So we'll do that film at a later date. Right now, I am so stuffed from all this food, drinks, snacks. This was truly a great experience. And again, I'm very happy that I could have shared it with the viewers. Let me know what you thought about this ration. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.